Yo. Welcome to another stream, episode number 125. It's a nice round number there. It's been kind of a slow week, kind of a weird, choppy week in crypto. Got a lot to talk about though. Things are popping off in the Zen ecosystem, so we'll see what's going on over here. What's happening in the chat? Ooh, I forgot my hat. My hair's a mess. What's up, J Red? What's up, Aiden? What's up, Janet? What's up, Rolando? Welcome, Ben Johnson. Hope you guys are having a good Friday. If you could, before we get started, come over to the Twitter at TreeCityWest. Give the stream a retweet. Try to get some more hash heads in here. We got a lot to talk about today. We're going to be talking about... Ooh, I forgot about this big old Bitcoin. What is this? That's funny. That was from the halving stream. I guess I could keep it there. That's kind of cool. It's so huge, though. I don't know how I feel about that. It's just a huge-ass Bitcoin price in the corner. But as always, let's get started. Take a look at the crypto bubbles, see what's happening over the last couple days. I'll be honest, it's been really kind of boring. Having this big pullback in Bitcoin, altcoins are chilling out. It's so interesting because there's a lot of people that are hyped. They're saying altcoin season's coming, and then there's a lot of people in the financial world that are like, holy shit, financial Armageddon's about to hit. So there's a lot of mixed feelings in crypto right now. We're still green on the year. You know, if we look at the year to date, we see a lot of green. See some of these familiar projects, Tau, Bonk, AKT. That one's been moving a lot lately. We got Render, Fetch AI, Pepe, Caspa. But if we zoom into the last month, you know, things are definitely down from their all-time highs, at least since the Bitcoin all-time high. You see these altcoins are pulling back 20, 30%, and a lot of people are questioning, is it a good time to buy, or do we have further pullback coming? If we continue to zoom in on the week, We do start to see some altcoins popping off. You know, Render's been making a big move. We were buying a lot around $7, $8. It's currently at $11.50, so that's good to see. Happy with that one. Got Ton up 20%. The Telegram coin, Cass up 12%. And then even in the last day, we did kind of get a nice little pump yesterday, but even just, oops, wrong button. Even just today, goddamn. What's up, Linus? Even today, still more of a pullback. So you can see we're red on the month, red on the week, red on the day, but we're green on the hour. So don't try to catch the falling knife. I think we have a bit more to pull back. I wouldn't be surprised to see Bitcoin all the way back down to a 50K, 48K area. Let's go take a look at the chart. Our good old Coinbase chart. See what we got cooking up over here. And I mean, you can see that this is the weekly chart. Zoom in here, and this is kind of what I was thinking. You know, I drew this pattern a little while ago, and I was wondering if we're going to come down here and retest this golden pocket between like 48K and 50K. That's always been kind of been my range, and you know, this is on the weekly, so this takes us into July, August, and it looks like it's playing out. I mean, that's pretty crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if we continue to bounce around in this falling wedge channel until we eventually find a bottom, probably around here. Break out of that. That's kind of what I'm envisioning. You know, I'm sure we'll continue to get these pumps, but of course it depends on the news. Anything could happen anytime, but you know, they say sell in May, walk away, and it's looking like that. It looks like that every year, and every year I'm like, nah, this May is going to be different. But you can see, I mean, it's literally just bouncing back and forth in this pattern, and it'll probably continue. Eventually, one of these lower lows will be the last lower low, and then it's going to break out, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. You know, also around this 48 to 50 area, you do have a lot of support right here. This was back in February. So, nice little correction. You know, we had that big ETF pump, and now we're trying to find the equilibrium. What's up, Moises? What's up, Rolando? Welcome. Just set up WSL on Windows 11. One step complete for solXEN. Hell yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. I wonder if I still have mine running. Let me see. I was kind of testing the limits to see how many miners I could get going at once. One second, getting logged into my Linux instance over here. It's just my orange pie down in the basement. Wow, yeah, it's still running. This has been running for days. I don't know if it's still minting even. Because, you know, as the testnet happens, it mints so fast. So I've just been having these run. Each one of these is a different miner. And it's just, they're just doing their thing, cruising. Spending all my testnet soul. It's pretty funny to see all these Solana faucets running out of soul, too. The first couple days over on QuickNote, I was just getting so much soul, and then after a day or two, they put a limit on it. They said, no, come back in 12 hours. I thought that was funny. What's up, Craig Crypto? Welcome. So what have you guys been doing to prepare? You know, I've just been testing out. Here's a little tip for you guys. You can use these services similar to, the big one is Infura, but I tend to like QuickNote a little better. But both of them offer a free tier. And with this free tier, it basically works in credits. So what this is someone's node. It's a node rental service essentially, and they give you an API key. It's a private API that you put it, you know, you set your wallet. So under the RPC setting in your wallet, you put in the RPC for their API, your private API, and it's essentially your own private node. So you don't have to worry about the congestion of everybody using a node. You're kind of using your own private node through a service like QuickNote or Infura. So I signed up. I was testing it. Basically, you get a certain number of credits, And then every time your wallet hits the API, it deducts your credits. So I think per transaction, it's like 1,000 credits and you get like 50 million. So that's a lot of transactions. Let's go see. I'm curious if I can see the traffic. Let's take a look. All those miners on your Pi? Yeah, for sure. Let's see here. Let me get logged into QuickNode real quick. Real QuickNode. I'm curious if we can see, because this is using this API, I believe. So I had one, like a set of 4 running on the DevNet, a set of 4 running on the on a QuickNode one, and then I was also what was the other one I was using? I forget. But it was working really well, actually. You know, when I was trying to run more than 3 or 4 with the default API, the Solana DevNet API, I could only get 3 or 4 transactions running at once. But when you set up 4 different wallets with 4 different RPC APIs, it works really well. Could you check Gary network? Oh, of course, yeah, we'll check it out. Yeah, let's go take a look at the chart, see what's happening around the ecosystem. So you see Bitcoin pulling back. So what is Gary? Is this a mining coin? Is this a Gary token? Oof. Let's go check out Zen, see what's happening. Web3 streaming platform. That's cool. Kind of like Theta. What's up, Dank? Welcome, welcome. But yeah, I've been letting my Sol miner run. I was wondering if it was going to cause a problem, or if I'd wake up and be like rank #1 and piss everybody off. But I'm surprised. I'm barely in the top 10, which is kind of cool. It's nice to see other people going hard with it. It's really cool. Shout out to MMC and John Frost making the utilities. I kind of made like, mine's basically just a tmux script. You know, it'll start the default miner 4 times. But I was playing with MMC's miner, the Windows version of it. That's pretty crazy. You just double click and it runs. Yeah, you see Zen with a little pullback here. We did make a couple higher highs, but then we broke through the support here, came all the way back, and this green line is my buy zone. So it's getting pretty close to my buy zone. Not quite there yet. I mean, this is just going to continue to follow Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ethereum's been having a bit of a problem lately. There's a lot of FUD surrounding the ETF, and it was really realistically the futures ETF, but when everybody sees that the Ethereum ETF was pulled back, it wasn't even rejected. Grayscale actually pulled back. They were like, no, we're going to redo this before we resubmit. And a lot of people took that as bearish. They're like, uh-oh, maybe they have something. So ever since that announcement, that must have been, yeah, I mean, it's pretty much dumping this week. 31,000 all the way. It broke through that $3,000 support, unfortunately. So 29.24 for Ethereum. Oof. What's our support looking like? We're gonna come all the way back to 27. When do you start buying Ethereum again? We kind of got this like 26 to 28 range with this support back here, and then kind of down here. That's the big one too. That's like the 21 to 20K. You're gonna see a $700 Ethereum. I'd go nuts. I'd buy a couple of them for sure. Hope y'all are doing well up there in Ohio. Yeah, we're doing the thing, hanging out. Friday night, chilling. So Zen's doing the thing. You can see it's just kind of following along with Ethereum. Just nice little pullback. DBXen doing the same, pulling back as well. Fell through that $3 resistance pretty quickly. Currently sitting at $2.77. And I'm surprised because this Q thing's about to launch, and that also buy and burns DBXen. And also NXD is getting ready for their distribution phase is about to end. So that's actually going to start, and it's just like there's a lot of things happening, but really everything's just kind of following this market. See NXD at $2.64 now. Some big red candles. I wonder if the airdrop slot or the claim, that might be why we see these big candles today. Down 13% in the 24 hours. Windows Miner, XenBlocks. No, there's one for solXEN. There is one for solXEN. It's by MMC. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, shout out to MMC. I believe he's a member of the Chinese community, and he's made a bunch of tools for Zen actually, and he's always in the chats. He seems like a cool dude. But he made this, and if you come over to releases, there's actually a couple different versions of Linux and a Windows. It's the Delta Alpha 7. I'll pop this in the chat for you, Rolando. So it's the solXEN miner for Windows. Alexa was supposed to come out this week, I thought. That's funny you say that. I saw that, I think their audit from PeckShield. Which PeckShield is a pretty prestigious auditor. They have the PeckShield alert, and it's always interesting because you see like people getting hacked, and they always announce it. This scammer took 71 million worth of wrap BTC through a poisoning scam. That was interesting too. I saw yesterday that they actually sent a message back to him. Yeah, right here. So someone accidentally sent 71 million of wrap BTC to the wrong address, and then that person sent back a message saying, please leave your Telegram and I will contact you. Like, how creepy is that? So they tricked you into sending millions of dollars. They send you 50 ETH back and then tell you to hit up their Telegram. It's now sent 51 ETH to the victim along with a message. Hit me up on Telegram. Yeah, poisoning. So poisoning, it's a new kind of scam where so they actually farm addresses, and they look for addresses that are similar to whales. So they targeted this guy's address. They saw that he had 71 million worth of wrapped BTC, and they try to find addresses similar to him that has like the same first 4 letters and the same last 4 letters and numbers. So, and then they'll start sending you ETH and sending you coins, so it shows up in your transaction history. Then all of a sudden you see like, oh, what is this? You know, I see this transaction, but I gotta go make another transaction. Oh, that looks like my address. I'm gonna copy and paste that and send it. You know, the first 4 match, the last 4 match, that looks like my address. And then you accidentally send 71 million to the wrong address. That's what happened in this situation. So they found an address that's similar. I bet you can see it here. It doesn't actually, yeah, it says fake phishing address instead of the actual address. But yeah, so they actually, it's a mistake, you know, it's a mistake. So you look at your transaction in your wallet and you say, oh, that's the first 4 of my address. That must be my address. So you copy and paste it. And what a clever, you know. That's why you always got to verify. You always got to verify. I've made that mistake. But anyways, yeah, so the solXEN Windows miner, that's pretty cool. NXD doing its thing, trying to find its price. Had the big pump up to $5.72, currently at $2.71. And I think this will pick up. I do think it's just kind of the general market conditions. Might want to wait until it fully resets. You know, it might drop under $2 at some point. I wouldn't be surprised. It does have some strong liquidity, only a $1 million market cap, so if that falls under that $1 million market cap, it might be a good time to snatch some up. Nice DBXen shirt, hell yeah. Thank you, sir. PulseX just completely wrecked. Oof, what a chart. Yikes. Titan X just completely wrecked. Nice little pump. I was able to... I had my last miner was on May 1st. So I kind of played Titan X perfectly. I think I consider the Titan X experiment finished, and I played it perfectly. I basically made 6 miners, the one on the 1st of every month. First one was extremely profitable, and since then they've just been slowly diminishing. My last miner was not profitable, but it was my last one, so I was like, okay, that's cool. You know, I feel bad. The people that didn't get in, I also, all mine were done on the first day. So if you got in like a week or two later, or even a month later, those miners are wrecked. I'm sorry. Hopefully they can come up with something, man. That was a scam. DripX? That's no different. I'm down on all my miners in DripX. Ooh, GPUs looking juicy. I tell myself I'm not buying any altcoins. I think the price is just going to continue to drop. It's going to be a chilly summer. I think the markets are going to cool off, and then going into fall, it's going to start to pop off again. So we might have a bit of a slow summer, but don't start accumulating too early and start catching that falling knife. Unless you got render, man. I was so happy I bought this. I was able to, I bought this around $7 and it's just been pumping. It's at 11 right now. Render's actually a really cool project. The reason why I bought it is because now I'm all into GPUs thanks to XenBlocks, and Render's basically a cloud GPU decentralization. It's a DePIN project, which is decentralized physical infrastructure, and it's basically a decentralized VAST. Now, that's not necessarily a good thing. They don't really have that part figured out yet. You know, VAST is far superior as far as pricing, but you can build and deploy web services, run Python cron jobs, background workers. You know, they have all these different things. Compute pricing. So the DePIN, the whole DePIN narrative is kind of heating up for me. So I'm looking at a lot of these projects similar to GPU. GPU is another smaller one. It's only $100 million market cap, and I could see it getting to like $1 billion, which would be a 10x. But GPU is node.ai. It's kind of an interesting. That's not it. Nodes.ai. Yeah, that's the logo. So their site is nodes.ai. The ticker's GPU. And it's kind of the same thing. You can host your GPU. You can earn this token. People can rent it, paying with this token. And it's kind of an interesting thing. They have 100 active GPUs with an average monthly revenue of $500,000. So it's a very small project, but it's kind of up my alley with XenBlocks and stuff, you know? Now that I'm accumulating these GPUs, I need to do something with them. So you can see, why not earn crypto? Why not, instead of earning fiat on something like VAST, you can task submissions and distributions, you can process and verify, secure delivery. Basically, you make your GPU available, and people can buy it off you. Then you claim the GPU rewards. Can you mine solXEN on it? You can mine solXEN on anything. solXEN doesn't actually require compute. You could download There's like Python apps for cell phones, and you can run it on there. It's kind of the same thing as a Raspberry Pi or an Orange Pi. So when you're all the compute for solXEN happens on the validator. It doesn't actually happen on the client side, on your side. It's actually on the validator side when they verify the transaction. Let's go check that out. So let's zoom in here. I don't want to stop this, so I'm just going to try to grab a transaction log and we can dissect it. All right, so when you're running the solXEN, this is basically the transaction log that you'll see. This is the script that I have running. It basically just runs the script over and over. So first it runs the script. It tells you what API you're using. This one's using api.devnet.solana. Will there be a desktop app for solXEN? I don't know about a desktop app. It'll just be a website. It doesn't require any compute, so it can literally just be a button on a website where you send a transaction, because that's all you're doing is sending a transaction and telling the validator to do the work. So it's kind of twisting the proof of stake validator to do proof of work, because Rust can do that. That's pretty cool. So back to these logs. So you're running the API. It verifies your wallet, so you want to make sure it actually says your wallet address on the screen. Tells you the block number. So this is the Solana block number. That's the block height. Block height is the current block number. Has your balance. So I started with 0.5. Now we're down to 0.3. The program ID. This is essentially the smart contract address. You know, this is the program ID is the Rust program. So I know that there seems to be a lot of confusion about that. You know, it's kind of an interchangeable thing, and it is kind of also taboo to say that. If you ask anyone in Solana or in Ethereum, you know, does Solana have smart contracts? They're gonna say they have programs, but really, it's kind of the same thing. Oops. So you'll notice, similar to a sorry, I'm getting all unorganized here. All right, so let me move this down a little bit for you. Cool. Okay. So notice how the wallet address is similar format as the program ID. This is basically because it's basically comparing your wallet address to a smart contract address on Ethereum. They're both things that live on their own respective blockchains. So if you take this program ID and you pop it into the Solana Explorer, make sure you're on the testnet or the devnet. This is actually not the devnet. Or no, it's the testnet. Here we go. Switch that over to the devnet by hitting that button in the top right. So this is the solXEN mining program. You can see all the transaction histories, just like you can a smart contract. You can see the tokens. So this would be similar to, I guess maybe this program doesn't mint them, but yeah, you see these transactions coming in. If we go into these transactions, you can see the address that did it, the fee, transaction version. You can see the inputs and outputs, token balances. If you scroll all the way down to the compute log, you can see it's minting tokens, found 420 hash at iteration 45, consumed this many compute units, and it was a success. So since it found the 420, it told it to mint tokens, and that's what it's supposed to do. So if we go back to the little log file there. So the program ID is the, so you want to make sure your program ID is correct. You know, make sure you're running it against the correct smart contract. You also want to verify that it has the correct Ethereum address, because that's how you're going to get your X1 airdrop. It's going to be tied. So when you mint the solXEN, similar to burning it, for minting it on Solana, you're going to get the X1 airdrop. So make sure your Ethereum address is correct. And yeah, it's pretty fun. So let's see how this account looks. So yeah, if I pull up the Solana Explorer, I put in the address that was in the log file. I click on the tokens button, I come down to token holdings, and I can see exactly how much solXEN I have. This was a different version of the testnet, the Gamma 2, and then we also have the Delta. So I have 8.4 million solXEN, the Delta version. Lost the chat. There you are. Titanx belongs to the streets. That's funny. What's up, Ben Gain? When Sol mainnet? Soon. I'd say less than 2 weeks. Maybe a month. We have the Zenducation. Usually stuff happens right after the Zenducation. I'll be there, Rolando. How far are you going? 3 trillion solXEN? That'd be awesome. I'm curious to see how much it costs, because, you know, typical Solana transactions are nearly free. I mean, it's less than a penny. But if the network does get super congested and we're upping our fees, you know, originally they were saying like 30, 40 cents. And now it might be, there's talks about $1, maybe $2 per transaction. So that might deter a lot of people. You know, I might put one Solana in, and if it's $1 a transaction, I might only get 150 transactions right now. You know what I mean? You know, I might only, so that's one thing we're gonna have to think about. How much Solana do we want to put in? And hopefully, I mean, I want to see the meme quality of this. I want to see what happens. It might get adopted by Solana. These Solana people, these Solana kids are into these memes, and this is a meme with a story. You know, there's a lot of Zenians that hate when we call Zen a meme, but this is a meme. This is a legendary. You know, who does this? There's one other contract on Solana that does something like this. That's the ORE miner. I think this is where they got the idea, but then they stopped mining. It's a digital currency you can mine. So that did kind of wreck Solana, but we're Zenians. We're going to make it 10 times worse. That's funny. Shout out to the hash heads. Shout out to Og. That's Aiden in the chat. I think I can give away some memberships. Shout out to the 14 watchers chilling on a Friday night, bullshitting about crypto. Super boring. Let's see. How do I give away some memberships? All right, you guys ready? All right, we're giving 5 away. Let's see some memberships. Michael Higgins, Barley, Miggy Love, G Tramp, Corey Jackson. Welcome. You guys can see the private videos. So welcome. Damn, I wish I would have got you one, Ben. You actually came in here and talked. I'm not sure any of these guys talk ever, but maybe they will now that they got some memberships. But with that membership, I do have some members only videos you can definitely come check out. It's been a while. I need to do a portfolio update. My portfolio looks completely different than it did a couple months ago. I've made some pretty drastic changes. Maybe that's what we'll do tomorrow. But yeah, I wanted to go check out. So I'm starting to get interested in Q. Q seems like it's going to be a beast. And let's see here. I definitely encourage you guys to go hit up the Telegram. So the Q protocol. Here, I'm gonna put this in the chat. Come learn more about Q. It's the new DBXen. Shout out to DBXen. Shout out to Razvan. They released the Q white paper last week. Attention AI builders, if you wish to register your AI solutions as AI miners in Q, please read this and prepare accordingly. The 3-day registration phase is approaching soon, expected between May 17th and May 21st. So this is for the AI piece, and a lot of people aren't going to be able to participate in this, but it's important to know and be educated on what this means. So let's dive into this a bit. I honestly have no idea. So we're gonna do something we haven't done in a while. We're gonna pull up some Chat GPT and we're gonna go through Q and try to learn about it. Some crypto AI review back in the day. Hey, shout out to Craig Crypto, gifting memberships.
That's for the DGens and OGs.
Oh, what the hell? I just noticed that the animation is a Christmas present. We're gonna have to fix that. That's funny. All right, so let's see here. Whoa, that looks crazy. All right, so let's see here. So what I'm going to do is we are going to learn about these registering these AI miners and how does this work? Because I saw this screenshot earlier and it really kind of put in perspective what it. Oh shit, the website 13 hours ago. We're gonna check this out too. Q coming to riot against the beautiful Maxim Preach. That's funny. Members, stay tuned. Brief overview of the upcoming roadmap. Today, they aim to deploy the Q homepage. That's exciting. I didn't even know. I was looking for this screenshot. I guess now that we have the page, we don't need the screenshot. A paradigm shift is the premier fairly launched and decentral Web3 AI token. Decentralized, that's awesome. The Q project introduces a pioneering Web3 market designed specifically for AI developers, creators, and enthusiasts, aiming to revolutionize the way AI tools and technologies are developed, shared, and monetized. At the heart of this endeavor is Q, a cryptocurrency engineered to fuel the ecosystem, facilitating secure, transparent, and decentralized transactions that empower creators and users alike. Q distributes power, authority, and control away from centralized authorities like corporations or other organizations. Ensure transparency and verifiability. That's a nice word. Verifiability. Verifiability. Sorry, Ben. You'll have to come back next stream. I can give away 10 per month, so next week we'll give away another 10. Open source Q projects encourage collaboration, innovation, community-driven development efforts. No pre-minted Q tokens, no private allocation, no private or public sales. Q token holders benefit from passive income and native coins from all interactions on the Q application. Once the cycle ends, the rewards associated with it are ready to be claimed. User claiming rewards will be granted an entire amount of Q tokens earned. That's a nice website. I like it. This is a lot different than DBXen. I mean, the web layout. This is nice and clean. Got this nice animation. Fair launch. I love these colors. The blue and the purple glowing. That's very, very DBXen like. Shout out to Rosin team. This is good. But let's dive into the let's pop this over into ChatGPT and see what we can learn about Q. Actually, I'm going to use the data analyst. Just thinking it seems to handle large amounts of data better. It's meant for like files and stuff. You can convert and analyze files, but it does an awesome job translating large amounts of text. So we're just gonna paste all this in here. And then there's one other one. The initial registration period. And then the process. So what should we ask it? Check out this cool project. What the hell is going on? My windows are freaking out. Come on, Windows. I'm trying to adjust this so you can see it. Check out this cool project called Q. Please explain what a user will do to participate and how it works. So let's see what ChatGPT has to say about Q. Registration of AI miners. Initially, AI builders can register their AI miners during a designated early registration window that lasts for 3 days with the tiered fee structure. This encourages early registration and participation. Selecting an AI miner. Participants, referred to as miners, start by selecting an AI miner, which is essentially an AI-driven tool or model capable of specific tasks to earn Q tokens. The choice of the AI miner is critical as it determines the potential mining efficiency and the output of the Q tokens. So you'll basically have a list of different AI utilities and APIs. Initiating the mining batches. Once a miner selects their AI miner from the list, they'll decide on the number of mining batches they want to initiate. A batch can be considered as a unit of mining capacity. The number of batches directly impacts the rewards a miner can potentially earn. Participation requires contributing a mandatory protocol fee in ETH. This fee supports operational integrity of the Q ecosystem and covers transactional costs within the blockchain network. Miners then enter into an auction for the allocated supply of Q tokens. This auction is competitive, aiming to allocate rewards based on strategic decisions and the number of batches initiated by the miners. The distribution of Q tokens to miners at the end of the auction cycle is calculated based on the formula that considers the total number of batches initiated, so that's a lot of math. This formula ensures the rewards are distributed proportionally. Man, that's pretty cool, right? That sounds like a lot, but basically what it sounds like is we're going to be able to pick an AI tool, pay for it in ETH, and be able to use it, and then at the end of that daily cycle, you'll earn some Q tokens or whatever the cycle is. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you like pick a date in the future or if it's like a daily cycle. The cost of minting Q tokens includes transaction gas fees and a dynamic protocol fee that can change depending on the number of miners and the timing of the minting within the cycle. The fees and revenues generated from the ecosystem are reinvested in various ways, supporting stakers, funding development, and maintaining economic balance through a buy and burn strategy for Q tokens. By creating a platform where AI solutions can be developed collaboratively and accessed democratically, Q aims to democratize the AI development process, making cutting-edge tools accessible for a broader range of developers and organizations. That's pretty cool. I didn't think it would actually have AI built into it. That's kind of a game changer. So essentially, this AI, this initial registration process, those are the API providers, the AI tool providers. And essentially, you'll provide I believe an API and a certain amount of ETH, and then you'll be able to earn rewards for when people use your thing. That's amazing. The need for seamless integration between clients and existing APIs becomes paramount, especially when each API has its own unique specifications. A proxy, now we're getting real nerdy. This is the tech behind it. A proxy API serves as a bridge, a standard interface, or communication between front-end and existing APIs. The usage of a proxy API ensures flexibility and adaptability by shielding Q. Q can process the following types: text, image, video, and audio. That's tight. So it's not just text, it can also do images, video, and audio. How fucking cool is that? That's dope. To test the API endpoint, you can use the curl command. So this is if you're one of the AI mining hosts, you set up this API, and a lot of people were concerned about this. This is not for the day-to-day miners. This is for the people that are hosting the AI solutions that really want to earn the ETH. Now, if you have a lot of ETH and you have an AI solution, you're going to want to be in this because you're going to earn so much Ethereum. Let's take a look at the tokenomics to see how much exactly. So the AI builders, the ones that need all the ETH, those are the innovators that create the AI miners, the essential tools for minting Q tokens. Think of them as the creators providing pickaxes in the digital gold rush. And then us, when I say us, I mean me, anyone else participating, the miners, the individuals or entities who utilize the AI miners to extract Q tokens from the ecosystem. So they do this by using the API of the miners. So you're essentially going to pay some ETH, have an AI tool to use, and then earn Q tokens as if it was DBXen. How cool is that? What's up, Clay? What's up, Cray and Clay? What's up, Lou? Man, I'm getting hyped on this DBXen or this Q. I didn't realize. I thought it was gonna be. I thought they were just throwing the AI thing around like as a meme almost. I didn't know this was actually gonna have AI built into it. That makes me want to go buy some DBXen now that it's under $3. For AI builders and recognition for their contribution, the AI builders receive 5% of the Q tokens minted by those who are using the AI miners. This incentive ensures continuous supply of innovative and efficient mining tools within the ecosystem. Then most of the tokens, 95% of the Q tokens, rewards the miners. That seems like a lot going to the miners. I think everybody's going to be worrying about the miners dumping on our heads. But hopefully they get nice rewards for staking. And I guess that's where the dynamics come in. You almost want them to sell so you can get their Q off the DEX, and then you can stake and earn their ETH. Is the purpose to create a new ChatGPT-ish mining thingy? I mean, kind of. It's going to be more complex than that. So ChatGPT would be just one. He's talking about providing different types of tools. So we're going to have a list of tools. Like one of them might be like a Dolly thing where you generate images. And then one of them might be a ChatGPT where it's a chat client. And then another one might be like a trading strategy indicator, and it tells you when to trade. And one of them might be like a travel agent AI that specializes in finding cheap flights and stuff like that. There's going to be all these different types of AI, I think, and you're going to be able to select different tools, pay an ETH to use them, and then receive Q tokens for training the AI. So by using this, by paying to use it, you get the benefits of using it, but you're also benefiting the AI miners by training and providing the data. AI miners earn Q and earn ETH. You earn Q, you stake your Q, and you earn ETH. And it kind of feeds into this entire AI narrative. So that's pretty fucking cool. That's amazing. Talking about the deployment strategy. By staking Q, users earn passive income in ETH. And that's where it's kind of like DBXen and TitanX. You do the thing, but instead of creating a miner that does nothing, or a staking that does nothing, you're actually going to get access to a tool. And when you use that tool, you get Q, which can then be staked and earn rewards. So why would you ever pay for ChatGPT? This is essentially going to be ChatGPT, but you pay an ETH, but then you earn crypto rewards on top of that. So you're essentially, if the price of the Q token goes up, you're going to be getting paid to train AI. Think about it that way. That's pretty crazy. I love the vision. Exactly. So I'm really hyped about Q. NXD is doing its thing with DBXen. That's starting to cool off just in time for Q to start heating up again. Rosvine actually posted on X about the difference from Q and TitanX. Yeah, TitanX doesn't have an AI utility. But it's also, I mean, TitanX is a borderline scam, to be real. Yeah, here we go. So just to publicly respond to the question, is Q similar to TitanX? No. While TitanX has been primarily associated with fundamentals, Q is primarily aimed at fostering a community of AI builders and users, where collaborative, innovation thrives, much like we've witnessed in the DBXen ecosystem. I foresee members of the Q community that will gain substantial knowledge about AI, while AI builders will glean valuable insights from real users. What did one learn/gain in TitanX? That Jake took all our money. No. To summarize, Q symbolizes an inaugural stage of first principles of crypto AI innovation pathway, while TitanX operates as a centralized, manipulated asset, resembling typical cryptocurrencies and benefiting mostly the insiders and admin key holders. FPOC stands for a rebellion against these traditional assets that some might argue shouldn't even be considered genuine crypto. True that. True that. ETH. That's funny. But yeah, is that his real name? I don't think it is, but I don't care about that. If he wants to use a pseudonym, that's fine. I mean, I get it. I just don't like the fact that he ended up with all that money. That's the thing that bothers me. I mean, it doesn't bother me. It's whatever. I participated knowing what I was getting into. I thought this was kind of funny today. This feels like it should be bigger news, but in new SEC filings, America's biggest bank, JP Morgan Chase, discloses spot Bitcoin ETF holdings. Now, if you know anything about JP Morgan Chase, you know that it's run by Jamie Dimon. Jamie Dimon has been the biggest Bitcoin bear, calling it fake, calling it shitty, and then today it comes out that they own a little. But then after looking into it, I saw it was only like a couple $100,000, which is like nothing. They own they have trillions under management. But yeah, they own iShares Bitcoin Trust. It's crazy. Shout out to Simple Water. Solana's about to get a heavy stress test. I'll pop this in the chat too. The SolXEN docs. When's SolXEN? Yep. We got that DevNet SolXEN cooking right now. And shout out to the Bitmap Emporium guys. I saw Limitless was over in the Bitcoin conference. Repping Bitmap like they're supposed to. That's a fun group. That's an awesome group. I love being in the Discord and just like, I don't talk much in there, but just you get access to these channels that have a lot of great information. Also recommend listening to this little speech by IOHK Charles Hoskinson from Cardano. He talks about he's into the government, and he talked in front of Congress, and he meets politicians, and he's trying to get crypto on the good side. And I consider him one of the good side of crypto. Nice little 15-minute video. Oh, this guy gets me hyped up. Shout out to Patrick McHenry. Let's watch this.
Assets markets. Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of this bipartisan resolution of disapproval. This resolution is an essential effort to protect consumers and foster innovation in digital assets markets. It's also critical to stop the Securities and Exchange Commission's regulatory power grabs and efforts to circumvent the Administrative Procedures Act. I want to thank my friend, Congressman Flood of Nebraska, a leader on financial innovation and digital asset policy, for introducing this bipartisan resolution. Staff Accounting Bulletin, or SAB 121, is one of the most glaring examples of the current Securities and Exchange Commission's reign of overreach. Through SAB 121, the Commission is trying to dictate how financial institutions and firms safeguard America's assets, in particular here, digital assets, under the guise of so-called staff guidance. Let me explain why this is deeply concerning. Because they call it a staff guidance, the Securities and Exchange Commission could avoid public comment and the rulemaking process governed by the Administrative Procedures Act, or APA. Now, this is whereby the public gets to give an opinion back or expertise back to the agency so they can improve the rulemaking by listening to the public. This is a long-standing process here in the United States. And not only did the Securities and Exchange Commission bypass Congress and the Comptroller General, but the Commission did not even consult with other financial regulators, prudential regulators responsible for overseeing banks prior to issuing SAB 121. Thanks to the work of the House Financial Services Committee and my friend, Senator Lummis, the GAO rightly deemed SAB 121 a rule for purposes of the Congressional Review Act, providing Congress with the opportunity to right the wrong of agency act.
So basically what he's saying is that the SEC tried to go over the Congress's head and make a rule, and they ended up saying, no, that's not going to fly. They ended up voting in Congress. But then immediately after this, Joe Biden comes out and says, no, we're not doing that. And he says he's going to veto it.
Excellent work in this Congressional Review Act resolution to roll back the SEC's failure in their staff accounting bulletin 121. It would reshape the business of custody in this country. This is not just about crypto. This is a sweeping rule that the SEC has implemented without following the Administrative Procedures Act. The GAO says it's a rule. Well, if it's a rule, it needs to go through the Administrative Procedures Act and have a comment period and get people involved, because as Ranking Member Waters noted, they did not consult with the banking regulators who have the primary role of supervising custody in this country. A custodian is someone who holds your assets for you, whether it's shares of stock or acres of forest land, a rental house, or 10 Bitcoin. Holding reserves against the assets in custody is not standard financial services practice. This staff accounting bulletin is misguided. It requires that money be set aside for that category of assets, of digital assets in custody. It's part of a broader attack by the Biden administration to treat digital assets differently from all other assets. And that doesn't make any sense to House Republicans. Under Mr. McHenry's leadership and Mr. Thompson's leadership of the Ag Committee, we have a fit-for-purpose approach that, in fact, directs the SEC and the CFTC how to handle digital assets.
So yeah, Congress is pissed. They're like, fuck this guy. And then, of course, Joe Biden says, you know, if it hits my desk, I'm going to veto it. So this all comes down to the banks, and it is kind of, Jack actually chimed in on this. I thought it was interesting. It really comes down to, so Jack said, I wouldn't trust my Bitcoin with highly regulated financial firms either. Seems like a good thing for self-custody. Having them trade your paper ETFs is good enough. Custody should be reserved for people who actually know what they're doing. And exactly. I mean, I get it. But it's like, I don't want the SEC telling me what banks can and can't do. You know, I would never personally put my Bitcoin in a bank, but having that option and knowing I'm free to do that in this free country, I mean, that should be a given right. It shouldn't be that Gary Gensler decides that the banks can't custody Bitcoin. It should be a given right. Wes looks like he's sitting there. Hell yeah. So this is kind of a big thing. It's like, should banks be allowed to custody crypto? Because Gary Gensler and the SEC and Joe Biden say that they shouldn't. And Jack's right. I mean, he's 100% right. I would never put my Bitcoin with the bank. But if in the future I could put my Bitcoin as collateral to buy a house, that would be cool. You know, that's kind of interesting. It sounds kind of risky, but if it's at the bottom, I don't know. But yeah, so there's a lot going on. It's kind of in general, crypto kind of feels like it's being fudded out. It's kind of getting slow for the summer. Feels like there's a recession coming. It feels like there's economic turmoil coming. And hopefully the altcoin people are right, saying an altcoin season's coming. I know the fear and greed has been looking pretty rough lately. But for Bitcoin to be at 62,000, I think we're like right in the middle, actually. Yeah, we're neutral right now. It's actually tipping towards fear. So for Bitcoin, for us to be neutral, leaning towards fear, for Bitcoin to be at 62,000 61,000, whatever it is right now, 60,000. 60,800. That's pretty awesome. I mean, that kind of talks to the strength of Bitcoin right now. It's at 53 greed, which this is neutral on the other one. Oh wow, this is a cool chart. Shout out to CoinStats. It actually shows the so this is the Bitcoin price chart with the fear and greed over top of it. So there's this extreme fear in early 2022, and then we went back into fear in September 2023. Yeah, October 23, that would have been the time to buy. Or back here, obviously, but anyways, it's getting late. It's already 10 o'clock here. Been going for over an hour. We talked about a lot. We talked about the Bitcoin charts and the market sentiment. We talked about SolXEN. We talked about Q. Talked about a lot of stuff. Took a little shit on Titan X. Shitty X. Hope you guys have a good Friday. I'll be back tomorrow. I got to do a SolXEN update video. I want to do a. I haven't even talked about XenBlocks. I started mining at home. I'm actually hosting a rig on Vast right now, which is pretty cool. I have 3 3060s down in the basement, and instead of mining XenBlocks, I'm actually hosting them on Vast, trying to get a little side hustle going. So hopefully I'll be able to get, like, I imagine like $1 or $2 a day, like if I can actually get verified. That'd be pretty nice. Like $30 to $60 a month, and then put that, you know, towards DCAs and cloud mining. That'd be cool. But we'll see if we can get there. But all right, hope you guys have a good Friday. We'll be back. Stay zen. Peace.